Hello, listeners and viewers of CHP Talks. Welcome to another edition. Here we are in the closing weeks of the federal election campaign. I'm Rod Taylor, National Leader of the Christian Heritage Party, and I am running up here in Skeena-Bulkley Valley. And I'm here with several of our candidates from across the country. All of us are busy, run off our feet, I guess, but a couple of them said that they would have time to appear with me today and discuss the campaign on CHP Talks. So I'm going to introduce the folks here. Ken Stouffer, wave at the crowd, Ken. You've been on this show before. Ken Stouffer is our deputy leader, and he is running in the Ontario riding of Simcoe Grey. Kevin Schultes is in Nova Scotia in Halifax West, representing Life, Family, and Freedom in Nova Scotia for us. And Sean Mulligan is in Ottawa, West Nepean, and apparently that is in Ontario, I'm told. So I actually ran there once myself some years ago. And so thank you, three gentlemen, for joining us. I guess the rest must be too busy to squeeze this into their schedule, and that's okay. I did tell people, if you're busy campaigning, don't quit that just to be on the program with us. But thanks, guys, for joining me today. So, Ken, let's start with you. How are you finding things in Simcoe Grey?
Well, I'm enjoying the process. This is my first time running as a candidate for any political party, and so it's a great learning curve, and enjoying the opportunity to meet people, and it's really inspirational, or it's encouraging when somebody phones. Like last Saturday, I had a lady call me up, and I forget where she'd heard about me, but she said she wanted to support me, and she wanted to get some brochures to give out at her church. So she came by, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, to get some brochures. That was like a week ago, Monday or Tuesday. And so things like that are very encouraging. Here the incumbent is as a conservative, and so that's I'm who has voted for Bill C6, that liberal bill that really gives the force of law to this whole transgender kind of ideology, and so I'm wanting to make people aware of where this individual stands, and put a little heat on that situation, and hopefully bring that to light and cause a few votes to come over to us. And so anyway, those are a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah, C6, the bill to ban so-called conversion therapy, operates only against people who are seeking to help someone coming out of a transgender or homosexual lifestyle, or want to get back to their birth gender and kind of be restored to their coherence with their biological gender. And so parents and pastors could be at risk of being prosecuted if Bill C6 ends up becoming law, because just for simply helping their children or a parishioner struggling with those issues. So yeah, and of course, Mr. Aaron O'Toole voted for that. Jagmeet Singh and all the NDP caucus voted for it. All the Liberals voted for it, and a substantial number of Conservatives. So it is quite concerning. Thank you for, like there's a word in the Bible that says, expose the works of darkness. Some people, would say this is bashing. Well, no, when we hold members of parliament accountable for their words and deeds, that's not bashing. And certainly it's not character bashing. We're just saying that they need to bear the responsibility for what they do and say. And people deserve to know what MPs have done and said. That it all should be transparent. And so we're trying to dispel the illusion that the Conservative Party of Canada represents the same values as we do. People say, don't split the vote. What they mean is, you and the Conservatives are on the same side of the page. Well, that's less and less so as the years go by. That certainly is not the case today with their current leader, Mr. Aaron O'Toole. Great. So Kevin Schultes in Halifax West, what's it like on the ground in Halifax?
We just came off a provincial election, and they overlapped by a few days. And most people out here have zero clue that a federal election's going on. They have no clue. even a couple weeks into it and door knocking, they're like, they barely recognize that the provincial one's over, or we even had a provincial one, let alone a federal.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of an issue. Number one is there's that. Other than that, I thought I was going to, before the official candidates dropped, I thought I was going to be running against the long-standing incumbent Liberal that, he's, career politician with the Liberals, but it's going to be a new Liberal he's stepped down now, so that's going to be good. It's going to be the standard, no independent or anything. I'm the kind of outlier, other than maybe the PPC. They're kind of the outliers, I suppose, too, depending on who you talk to.
But in politics, Kevin, we have liars and outliers. And truth tellers like the Christian Heritage Party candidates, right?
I agree. True. Some of my big platforms that I definitely want to stand on is definitely the loss of freedom of speech, and some of the laws that they were just trying to squeak in there at in the middle, literally in the middle of the night, 1:30 in the middle of the night, trying to squeak in some new laws to literally shut down a lot of free speech and curtail speech in Canada, and it's under the guise of safety and whatnot, and good speech, and we don't want anything villainous, right? And they're trying to redefine and make it illegal to vilify somebody, which that's some of the wording in the new updating wordage. And I kind of joked. I said, well, is it wrong to vilify somebody who talks and is a villain or does villainous things? I kind of joked about that in my head. I joked about that. Yeah. So that's a huge talking point of mine. Of course, NDP is huge on, the affordable housing, huge. I'm actually going to love talking about our Fair Tax Act and the flat tax kind of angle on that, because there will be no other better way to raise funds to get your homes faster than with our system. When you get to come home with your entire paycheck, and you can save your entire paycheck with zero taxes taken off of it, that's how you get a home faster. And then when
if we could get rid of the carbon tax too, because the carbon tax raises the cost of everything. If you're building a home, your lumber's going to be up. If you're buying food, your food's going to be up, all because of this goofy carbon tax. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't be running for our party if I didn't think we had a ton of amazing principles. Yeah. And that's the thing about our party too, is it's the principles behind the laws that are actually even more important than the every tittle and dot and cross T or whatever of the law, because as we've just discussed with the Conservative Party or any of these parties, what they say and do, whether it's their platform or what they do and say even after they're elected, they can change that at any point in time and shift even after you're voted in. So the CHP is based on tried and true proven principles, I say, for thousands of years. For those that follow those principles, you end up being fruitful. When you break tried and true principles, you suffer the consequences. Yeah. No country in history has ever succeeded in beating inflation and not destroying their economy and their dollar. No country's ever done it, So what we're doing is right on track with destruction, and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's my a few main talking points anyways out here, and little low key out here, but we'll see what the upcoming debate is at the university here next week. So I look forward to that.
Wonderful. I was in debate last night over in Terrace that was hosted by local press and media. It went, I think, pretty well, and it'll be broadcast, or it actually was live streamed on Facebook, and it'll be broadcast on CBC Friday night, or the local CBC station here. So Sean Mulligan, you are in Ottawa West Nepean, near the heart of the political heartbeat of this country, I guess, close to Parliament Hill. So what are you finding? You've run there before, and so you know some people there from before. What are you finding there?
Can you hear my voice, Rod?
We sure can.
Okay. Yeah, this is my third time as a candidate, second time in Ottawa West Nepean, and congratulations, Ken, on being a first-time candidate among us. So on September 1st, we had a Rogers TV debate among the 6 candidates. I'm happy to announce that there were only 6 candidates on the ballot. It was a fair debate. And so I was pleased with it. I mean, I could have used more polishing for sure. Given our time limits and time constraints and so on, it was the best I can do it at that given time. It brings me back, Rod, to the radio interview you and I had back in October 1st, 2015 with CFRA Radio.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, that was a wonderful experience. So we've put up a number of lawn signs throughout Ottawa West Nepean. And as you clearly stated in your email, some have already disappeared and are damaged and so on. I guess that's part of the course of being a CHP candidate. We have also, for the first time ever, we're participating in a home-to-home mail-out. Be 25,000 brochures sent out to 25,000 homeowners.
Wow.
This is something new for us, as uncharted territory for us. We've developed a partnership with Staples and also Canada Post. So we're hoping that the first brochures will be sent out no later than tomorrow, given that the advanced polls start on Friday. So yes, we're loaded for bear here in Ottawa West Nepean, and we hope that we're also loaded for Liberals also. And
Yeah.
so the Greek philosophers used to say, challenge everything you see, hear, and read. The problem nowadays, we challenge nothing and we accept everything at face value. And this is why we're in deep trouble in this country.
Yeah.
So also on Parliament Hill, you talk about Parliament Hill, Rod, that flag has been flying in half mast for a number of months now, including all government federal buildings throughout this national capital area. And this coincides with the residential school system. And I'm upset with this format as a Canadian citizen, because certainly the government of Canada they were the financiers of the residential school system. And I think what's happening right now is we're seeing some blowback from the Liberals against the Christian communities on this issue. And so I think people are responding, but not in a positive way. We're seeing signs being destroyed. There's a lot of negative feedback and so on. And so anyway, we're doing our best right here to advance Christian values and virtues in Ottawa West Nepean, we're getting positive responses from a lot of people. People are stepping up to the plate and helping to finance our campaign. And I think this has allowed us to go ahead with this massive mail out. And it's ironic in one sense, because I want to be part of this excitement next week in Ottawa, West Nepean. However, we'll be at convention in Calgary. And so I'm going to feel like a satellite candidate for 4 or 5 days.
Well,
But anyway, so be it.
yeah, the timing, of course, we would have planned it differently had we known, but we had to postpone the convention from last year to this year, and then we had to move it one more time. And getting close to the date, we said, are we going to be in an election or not? We don't know. The Prime Minister has not usually been in the habit of calling me up and letting me know his next moves, unfortunately. In fact, it goes back to 2015 when he was elected. I sent him a letter then on CHP letterhead. Yes, hello, congratulations. You were elected. You've been given a great opportunity to lead this country. There's a number of issues I'd love to discuss with you. I'm also the leader of a political party in Canada. I'm coming to Ottawa next week. Would there be a chance of us sitting down and discussing some of these important issues? Of course, I haven't heard back yet from him. I'm still waiting from 2015. But, the arrogance of just bullying ahead with his secular humanist program, socialist agenda, without any reference to the concerns of Canadians like us. So anyway, if you're loaded for bear, Sean, you should have been around my house. Apparently, while I was up in Prince Rupert and Terrace, we had a family of bears across the street here. My wife informed me. So they come around here once in a while. They're still gathering berries and salmon before they go and hide away for the winter. So anyway,
I enjoyed reading your email, Rod, about the various animals that you encountered on the campaign trail.
Yeah, in fact, it was a little less than one other year. We actually, there was a year driving up to our riding goes up to the Yukon border, and one year we saw herds of mountain goats, caribou, a number of moose, but this year it's mostly bears. We saw 7 or 8 bears in our drive up there, and a bobcat, which we don't see too often. So anyway, Ken, any words you'd like to squeeze in? We're going to keep this to a short time. Oh, there's another attendee. I'm going to bring in Jeff Willerton. There's one more person, but Ken, while I'm bringing him in, you may have some more words to add here.
Well, yeah, really just to kind of repeat a bit of what I said about the opportunity to meet people. And I had a young fella from Tottenham, which is just a town a little ways away from us, phoned me up today, and he was asking for help. He goes to college, and he doesn't want to get vaccinated, and he's been requested by the president of their college that everybody has to be vaccinated or they cannot go to school there. So he was asking for some advice. So I was referring him to the Liberty Coalition Canada website, and also got him some information from somewhere else as well. And he said he'd seen my sign down in Tottenham and he was going to be voting for me. So those are, again, just little encouraging things that are good to see.
Right. Yeah. And Jeff Willerton, we can see that you are on, but we can't see your face. Do you have a camera there? There you are. You got that. You're muted and you have that recliner look.
Yeah. I'm not in my Sunday best. It's been a long day.
Okay, what have you been putting up signs, or what have you been doing?
No, trying to get my brochures out to the various post offices in the riding. It's a mixed urban rural riding, and we had a nightmare yesterday, as you well know, dealing with Canada Post. The funny thing is, the first guy I talked to gave me an agreement number, as they do, and unbeknownst to me, that was an agreement number, a contract number that was assigned to the Bloc Québécois.
Okay.
So number, and the postal codes didn't line up, so I couldn't get it to work for some reason. And we had a guy till late last night working on it in Canada Post, till about 7 or 8 o'clock his own time, but and it was later here. But he says, he finally gets back on the phone. He says, "Listen, I've investigated everything. I can't get a hold of the office yet. They're at this point they're closed." He gave me a phone number for commercials, the commercial department, and the direct line for them, so I wouldn't be on hold. And he said, "I think it's this. I think it's your agreement number." And he was right. So we cleared that up this morning and got everything out of the way, and got our flyers delivered.
Well, maybe Jeff, you're going to be elected in Quebec instead of you're running in Sturgeon River Parkland near Edmonton, Alberta. So we have right now we have 25 candidates across the country, for those who are wondering. We have two here from Ontario, one from Nova Scotia, one from Alberta, and one from British Columbia. So Jeff, we were just about to close off the call when you came in late. Sorry, but do you have we've heard now about your troubles. What's the bright spot of your campaign so far?
The bright spot is getting those 40,000 brochures out, or close to 40,000 brochures out, before opening bells when the advanced polls open.
Right.
That's a good thing. There's been some nice ads in some of the major dailies, weeklies, and I think I'm going to do well.
Good. Well, awesome. For those viewers who don't know, Jeff Willerton has been a candidate a couple of times for us, and he is the author of a book called Fix Canada, and of which there have been about 18 or 19 revisions. I don't know. I can't keep track. I just estimate there. But anyway, a great guy running in
Great guy.
Sturgeon River Parkland, Alberta. So
actually, I just finished telling a guy that I'm running for you guys, and I'm far from the best candidate you have on the ballot. I'm so far down the list, I don't even count, because you got some good candidates.
We do. I'm proud about all the candidates we have, and I think people did a great job of pushing through all the hoops that you have to push through to get on the ballot, and representing the Christian Heritage Party and representing the values of life, family, and freedom. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. We're going to call it a day on this, because I've got a debate coming up in a very short time, and I still have to prepare some speeches for that. I've put about 5,000 kilometers on now in my riding, and it's not over yet. I'll probably have to do a couple thousand more, especially at the end when we go to pick up signs. But anyway, it's been great speaking with you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules, out of your campaigns, to join us on CHP Talks. And next week, we will be broadcasting from the CHP National Convention in Calgary, Alberta. So stay tuned. Well, don't stay tuned. Tune in again next week. You'll be waiting a long time before our next episode comes out. But we look forward to a great convention next week, and it's going to be exciting to be in Calgary again, and then we'll come home in time to watch the poll results come in. So God bless you all. Tune in again next week for another edition of CHP Talks.